Welcome to Business Notes. I'm your host, Diane Bogino. I'm delighted to have Matt Franklin as my guest today. Matt is a serial entrepreneur, product developer, video producer, and podcast host. He's from Portland, Oregon, but has worked all over the world. Matt has run a one-man video production company since 2006, and he's a part-time product developer. In fact, his most successful product landed him on Shark Tank in season 4. He also hosts a retirement planning podcast for entrepreneurs called the Rogue Retirement Lounge. Now, here's Matt to share his Shark Tank experience and retirement expertise. Matt, welcome to Business Notes, and thank you for being with us today.
Thanks, Diane. It's great to be here.
So what was it like to be on Shark Tank?
Wow. Well, I'll tell you, it was, have you ever gone skydiving, Diane?
No.
Okay. Well, just so you know, when I used to go skydiving when I was younger, and it is a mixture of sheer terror and adrenaline. And that's what I tell people that Shark Tank was like, is that it's super exciting. It's unbelievable because you've watched all the episodes and it's, you're seeing all these people and you come out and it's like super exciting. But then the gravity hits that, like, this could either change your life for the better. This could make your business go stratospheric, or it could kill you and embarrass you in front of all your friends on national television. So it's really scary too.
I can't imagine. So when your episode aired, did you sell a lot of product?
Yeah, it went nuts. It was funny because I'm here on the West Coast. So the first episode aired on the East Coast 3 hours before it aired here. And so it was 5 o'clock here, and we were at our office, and we knew that the episode was going to air, but we didn't know which segment we were going to be on. So there's 4 segments per episode. And so the first 15 minutes goes by and there's no web traffic. And we're watching Google real-time analytics, where you can see a map and it'll show the little dot where any of your web traffic is from. Another 15 minutes goes by, nothing. Another 15 minutes goes by, nothing. So we were like, okay, at least this is good. If we really are airing, then we are on the last segment, which is great. Then all of a sudden at about 5:50, traffic started hitting. And at 5:55, all of a sudden the whole East Coast was lighting up, all from all the way down from Eastern Canada all the way down through Florida. And then sales started coming in. I would hit refresh on my email and boom, it was like 10 sales, 20 sales. And it was unbelievable. It was by that point, the pressure was off. We had done our thing. We had shot like a few months ago. So then it was just watching the sales roll in. It was amazing to see.
Well, just out of curiosity, what was the product?
The product was a little posture corrector. It was a little, that's what everyone does, is sits up when they hear that. Yeah, we invented this little item that you wear that kind of trains you to keep your shoulders back and put you in good posture.
So it's still out there for sale.
Out there for sale. Yeah. Right now we're having some, like a lot of our friends in business, we're having some supply chain issues. And so we're having trouble getting it in stock right now. But yeah, we've been selling it steady for the last, for almost 12 years now.
Wow. So what have you learned from your, your post Shark Tank windfall?
Well, first of all, I learned to save money because I blew it. I was not mentally prepared. They talk about the people who win the lottery and then they in 5 years they're back to being poor again. I wouldn't say that we definitely didn't get lottery money, but a lot of money came in and I blew it. I was going immediately. Went to Europe like 5 years in a row, on these, drinking a lot, taking vacations, like, oh, we're going to go to Hawaii just for the hell of it. And so I learned that I am very undisciplined with my money, And then, which led me to the realization, hey, I'm never going to be able to retire if I do idiotic things with the money that I do have coming in. And it forced me to really kind of just shift my entire way of thinking about money. And so I'm glad that I experienced the stupidity that I did experience by blowing all that money. It was definitely good for me to see, oh wow, if I would have saved that, the future value of that money would have been a lot, and I could have retired sooner. And so I can either kick myself, or I can just essentially reframe the way that I deal with money. And so I started investing better. I started becoming basically obsessed with investing in real estate. And now I don't take European vacations every year.
So that's what started your podcast, when you started investing your finances and doing investment strategies.
Yeah, basically what happened is during COVID, I was looking at my spreadsheets, and I realized, hey, I'm going to be able to retire when I'm 59. And I'm at the time I was 51 maybe. And so I was like, wow, I'm going to be able to retire. This is great. And I don't have to save anymore. And so I immediately just kind of put the brakes on everything. Wasn't working very hard. But I still kept obsessing about investing, and I still kept spending my time listening to podcasts about investing, reading books about it. And so I decided, wow, if I'm that into it, even though I've basically got my situation figured out, I need an outlet. And so that's why I started my podcast, to talk about retirement planning for entrepreneurs specifically. And that's what I've been doing ever since.
Well, what do you think entrepreneurs are so bad about retirement planning, and what is it that you do to help them?
Okay, there's four. I'll blow through these real quick. There's four reasons that I've discovered in talking to entrepreneurs as to why they're so bad at retirement planning. Okay, one, the big reason is the variable nature of our incomes. Okay, when you're self-employed, sometimes, for most of us, sometimes you'll have 40 grand in the bank, sometimes you'll have $40 in the bank. And so that makes it so, like, most people who have real jobs, they just put their money into a 401k, and it's automatic. And for us entrepreneurs, that's not the case. A lot of us entrepreneurs also think that their business will be their retirement. And so it's like, hey, I don't really need to worry about investing because I'm building my business, and that will fund my retirement. And unfortunately, the statistics show that you have not a great likelihood of that happening. Number three is that people just say, oh, I love what I do. I love working for myself. I don't plan to retire. And to those people, I say, how much better would it be to be doing your job or to be in your business if you didn't have to be? If you had that choice, okay, if you hit 62 and you didn't have to work, how much better would it be to go to work? And so people a lot of entrepreneurs are kind of in denial in that area of their lives. And then the last thing that I found is that people just nobody trains entrepreneurs how to plan for retirement. I've done all the seminars. I've done the Brendan Burchard Experts Academy. I've read all the books, the Tony Robbins and Dean Graziosi and all those guys. I've read, I've absorbed so much about entrepreneurship in my last 15 years as an entrepreneur, and not one time does the word retirement planning come up in any entrepreneurship book or seminar that I've ever taken.
Wow.
So those are the big
amazing.
reasons.
That is eye-opening. So to help people, let me be clear about this for our audience. Do you do webinars, coaching, training? How do you help people specifically?
I just through my podcast.
Okay, so they listen to, which are really fascinating. I listened to a couple yesterday. They're really good.
Thank you.
Some of them might need an X-rated.
Yeah. I get very passionate about certain subjects, and then my mouth gets a little bit salty. So apologies in advance if you listen to my podcast and there's bad words.
Well, that's a matter of opinion. But I also noticed on your podcast website that you've got some kind of an offer about crypto. Now, I'm totally ignorant about crypto and Bitcoin and all that,
Mhm.
but tell the audience about that offer, please.
Oh, okay. Well, just there a lot of people that I talk to are just starting to get into buying Bitcoin, and I've become obsessed with it over the last year. I used to be a gold bug. I used to think, hey, if you want to store, if you want something that is a store of value that will beat inflation, I firmly believed that it was gold. But then I looked back 10 years, gold has not appreciated really at all versus the dollar. Okay. So as our inflation eats our purchasing power, it's also eating the purchasing power of gold. And gold is now what is it today? It's 1800 or in that neighborhood. Um, so gold, I realized that, hey, as gold, yeah, gold's sitting here at around 1800. As gold's been sitting here stagnant, Bitcoin has been going up just parabolically. And so therefore I've kind of switched, and I've done a lot of research on cryptocurrencies. And I do believe that Bitcoin is an excellent long-term store of value. I don't know if it's ever going to become a medium of exchange where people are going to, use their Bitcoin to really buy a car or buy a house. I can't tell you what the future is, but I do believe that the Bitcoin network is sound. The Bitcoin asset is strong, and I believe that it's going to continue to grow. And so I've got, if you go to, there's a company called OKCoin that is a very cool way that you can go and you can buy cryptocurrencies, and you can also essentially what they call stake it, where you can earn interest on it. So I'm earning great interest on cryptocurrency by not only just buying it and watching it grow, but they're paying interest. And I don't want to bore you with the details about the levels, but I'm getting some pretty crazy interest rates, anywhere from 5 to 20% by holding these cryptocurrencies. So if you go to rogueretirementlounge.com/coin, and the website is my podcast is called the Rogue, ROGUE, Rogue Retirement Lounge. And so if you go to rogueretirementlounge.com/coin, you'll get $50 in free cryptocurrency if you put in 100. So you get an immediate 50% return on your investment if you throw in $100. So that's pretty good. And I'll tell you some of these interest rates that people are getting. On there's a cryptocurrency called Polygon. They're giving 15% interest on that. There's another one called Synthetics, which is getting 22. I've got a coin called Polkadot, 14.39% interest just to hold it.
Mm.
So it's kind of there's this new world of these crazy assets. And there's also stable coins that stay pegged to the dollar, so that if you're afraid of the value going up or going down, there's a coin called Tether that's pegged to the dollar, and they're paying 8.29% interest on that. So it's like, I tell people, if you have an emergency fund, they say have 6 months worth of put it in a savings account. Well, if you're in a savings account, you're going to get a 0.02% interest. You're going to get nothing.
Mm.
And as inflation, the numbers keep telling us, that's destroying the value of the dollar. So you could go to OKCoin, for example, buy a Tether that's pegged to the dollar and get 8.29% interest on that. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah, because it does have a certain level of volatility, right?
Some of the coins do, absolutely high volatility, like stomach wrenching volatility. Like Bitcoin has had, I believe there's been a half dozen 20% or more drawdowns this year. So if you don't like volatility, you can buy one of these stable coins, and it's a great place to park your money and get a really decent interest rate and not have to deal with that volatility.
Well, to change the topic a bit to close out, what were some of the biggest challenges you faced in starting your businesses, and what would you recommend to someone starting a business today?
Well, the first thing that because people, as soon as after I was on Shark Tank, people would send emails to me saying, hey, I've got an idea for a product. what do I do? And the first thing that I tell people is all the answers are out there for you now. Okay. Back when we started out, the answers weren't all out there. Now there's a YouTube video or a seminar or a book for everything. So nobody has an excuse not to start a business. Whether if you've got a great recipe for cupcakes, you can make a business out of that. Or, or if you have an RV and you like to travel, you can make a business out of that. And I would just tell people that the answers are out there and that you don't have to wait until you have a bunch of money in the bank. We funded our business with my American Express card. And within 8 months of having the idea, we were selling product online. And so that's what I tell people is just do it and don't wait until you think you're ready, fire, aim, just start.
Right. Yeah, the perfect time will never come.
That's true. It's absolutely true.
Matt, wow, you've brought a unique experience to the audience today, that's for sure. And I really encourage people to go to your website because it's so interesting. You've got a lot of different things to that people can learn from. So I appreciate your time today. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Diane. This has been fun. I appreciate it.
Thank you for watching Business Notes. We've been speaking with Matt Franklin, serial entrepreneur, product developer, video producer, and podcast host. I'm your host, Diane Bogino, bringing you business ideas you can bank on.